Okay, so this is my attempt to try to put this on YouTube. I'm building a gravity feeder for deer. Hunting season's coming up here very shortly, and trying to get some protein feeders going at our deer camp. And so I'm doing this for a couple buddies so that they can see how to do this, so that I don't have to do it for them. Simply, everything can be purchased at Lowe's. You've got your tee, 4-inch sanitary tee, your 4-inch closet flange, some 1.5-inch bolts. You can buy stainless if you want, but they're a lot more expensive. I figured for what I'd spend on this, I can replace these probably 5 more times if I had to. Fender washers. These are 5/16 by 1.5-inch bolts. It's PVC glue. And then if you choose to camouflage your drum, you can have your spray paint black, green, blue, whatever. Also a piece of pipe, piece of 4-inch pipe. I'm going to build actually 2 of these, so I bought a little extra pipe. And out here is the drum that I'm going to be putting all this in. And that is a 30-gallon drum. This is the flange. So here we go. I hope this is of use to folks out there in TV land. Thanks. Alright, so here's the flange. Obviously the barrel's upside down. And by the way, you want to make sure you get a barrel that you can put a lid on it, because this is where you'll be putting your feed in at. Through here. You want to make sure it's a watertight lid, and so that way that your protein feed does not get wet. So I've got a marker. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to mark this out where I'm going to cut the bottom of it out so I can slide this through. And then I will drill a hole in the middle of this. Then I will get a jigsaw and cut on the line. I want to make this real tight so that no feed leaks through. Alright, we'll be right back after I cut this hole. There's your hole. Always remember that.
Hold up. Ready?
Yeah, tape them. Here's your hole. So remember that you can always cut more. Can't add back to it. So make sure you don't cut the hole too big. So we're back. I have to waller out the hole a little bit on the pullet flange so that my bolts will fit through. Because as is now, they won't fit through. So what I'm going to do now is because it'd be hard to try to drill from the top side down to drill your holes through your flange through the plastic. So I'm going to line this back up perfectly so that so I know exactly where to go ahead and drill the holes. Just push it down, take my drill, pop a couple holes through it. That's my killer dog in the background. Okay, so you can see I put the flange inside. I've lined the holes up. Now I'm going to put the bolts through and tighten it up. Okay, so I've got the flange in here. I've got my bolts through. Got my nuts on there and my fender washers. Now I'm just going to tighten them up with a crescent wrench. The tighter you make this, the more the flange will drop and be flush to the bottom, so that your feed does not stick to the bottom. Doesn't get stuck around the bottom. This jug, or this drum's already got a kind of a contoured bottom, but they do sell contours at like Academy, Gander Mountain, things of that, places like that. Contour bottom, it just helps the feed drop more towards the outlet of it. Okay, so this is what it should look like after you get through bolting it in. Your flange at the bottom there. And as I was telling you about the contour side, see how it slopes down towards it. You're probably going to have a little bit extra if the feeder ever goes empty on the bottom, but that's very little. The bottom of it look like this. The reason you want to use fender washers is because when you tighten this up, you want to be able to spread the amount of torque that you're putting on the plastic. So therefore, that fender washer kind of eats up some of that, so it doesn't pull all the way through and create a hole in there. That's why I use the fender washers. So the next step will be to assemble the PVC. Okay, so here's the PVC pipe. I went ahead and cut it. Not a big deal. I'm assuming most of you guys that are watching this, I mean, you should be able to do this if you're watching this. At least interested anyway. Here's PVC pipe. I went ahead and cut it. Mine's 14 inches. This is a sanitary tee. Most people use like a clean out tee. I will tell you those are a lot more expensive than these. These are like $4.50 or something. But either way, feed's going to go to both sides. Also cut a piece of 4-inch, about 4 inches long. That'll go around the closet flange here, like that. I'll glue that on there, glue the tee, and put my pieces in. Okay, so you can see I put the tee on there. Then I put the pieces here. I put a little bit of distance here from the tee out so that not all of your protein feed just falls out of there. So the more width you have, obviously the less will dump out on the ground. The idea obviously is for the deer to come in and eat from here to this end. That's why I chose to do 4-inch instead of 3-inch. I cut it on an angle so that the rain doesn't get into here and coagutate and harden up. So it'll fall right in there. Okay, so there is everything put together. As you can tell, it's a little bulky, but yeah, I plan on putting. I live in Florida and I hunt in Georgia, so I don't get up there as often. So I want to try to put as much in there, so I don't have to go back as often. But at any rate, like I said, I use the 4-inch because the opening is a little bit larger than 3-inch, obviously, and so the deer shouldn't have a problem getting in there eating the protein. Another thing is to make sure that you round these edges right in here, and actually this one I need to touch up a little bit, but round the edges real good. so that it doesn't cut the deer. Makes it a pleasant experience, I guess you could say. So there that is, and the only thing I got left to do now is to spray paint it. Do a little bit of redneck camo on it, and that'll be it. So that's a gravity feeder. I hope this helps everybody out, especially my buddies. You know, altogether I probably have about $30 in plumbing parts and the bolts. You know, you can find these 30-gallon drums for about $25, $30 online, like at Craigslist. So altogether you get about $60 tied up into this. Now once I get to the woods, one thing I'll do is I'll drill 2 holes, one here and maybe one up here, and I will bolt this to a 4x4 that I plan on putting in the ground about 3 feet. And obviously you want to make it tall, or you want to make it close to the ground, not, you know, close enough so that the deer can walk up and eat out of it. Don't want to make it too high where they can't get to it. And then I have a golf cart that I use. I'll back my golf cart up to it and put my feet in from the top. Alright, hope this helps. Good luck.